Ghostbusters.
Hey, anybody see a ghost?
If there's something weird in your neighbourhood, who are you going to call? If you're all alone and you don't look good, who are you going to call? Welcome to my review. I'm Jolly Roger, and there is only one answer. It has to be Ghostbusters. 2024 sees Ghostbusters mark its 40th anniversary since it had its cinematic release in 1984. Starring Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Harold Ramis and Ernie Hudson as the infamous Ghostbusters. Also starring Sigourney Weaver and Rick Moranis. The film was directed by Ivan Reitman and written by Dan Aykroyd together with Harold Ramis, and the story was inspired by Aykroyd's fascination with the paranormal.
The city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportion. Real wrath of God type stuff.
Upon its release, the film became a phenomenon, gaining a large fan following around the world that gave rise to countless fan clubs, conventions and a cult following. The success of the movie gave rise to a further 3 movies, with the latest, Ghostbusters Afterlife, set for a release in the US on the 29th of March next year. In addition to the movies, the franchise has seen several computer games released, an animated series titled The Real Ghostbusters, as well as merchandise including Lego Ecto-1 and the Firehouse, action figures, Funko Pops, costumes, neon signs, books and replica props. The theme song Ghostbusters was written and performed by Ray Parker Jr., securing the #1 spot in the charts of several countries including the US Billboard Hot 100. Set in New York, Professors Pete Venkman, Ray Stantz and Egon Spengler are dismissed from their university, leading them to set up their paranormal investigation and elimination service, the Ghostbusters. It isn't long before they encounter their first ghost in the New York Public Library. Setting up the headquarters in a disused fire station, they acquire the iconic Cadillac Miller Meteor that became the very recognisable Ecto-1, with its iconic sirens that could be heard squealing as they respond to the calls for busting ghosts. As paranormal activity increases across the city, the Ghostbusters add proton packs, traps and the containment unit to their inventory as they face more ghosts that terrorise the neighbourhood and prove more challenging to capture. They also add more staff to the payroll, including Winston Zeddemore and Janine, who is heard shouting, "We've got one!" and when the phone rings for the first time. One of the iconic images from the movie is of the giant marshmallow man, Mr. Stay Puft, strutting towards the apartment block where the Ghostbusters meet Gozer. The Marshmallow Man was a combination of the Pillsbury Doughboy and the Michelin Man in a sailor hat, with the actor basing the walk upon the movement of Godzilla. An icon of the franchise has to be Slimer the Green Ghost, who has a huge appetite for food. It wasn't until The Real Ghostbusters the disgusting blob became known as Slimer. Boss Films was set up by Richard Edlund, who had previously worked on the original Star Wars film and also Raiders of the Lost Ark with Industrial Light and Magic. Ghostbusters was the first film Boss Films worked on using physical and hand-drawn effects. This is understandable given that computer-generated imagery wasn't widely embraced in the film industry until the 1990s. The use of physical effects adds a realism that CGI has struggled to provide, which can be seen in the Star Wars prequels. One of the memorable scenes in the movie is in the New York Public Library, where books can be seen floating from one shelf to another. This was achieved by using wires at a cost of $250,000. In another scene, a fake wall was used with technicians standing behind it in the catalogue drawer scene, where copper pipes were used to which the technicians blew down, causing the catalogue cards to swirl around. If you enjoyed the preview, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as this will help to grow the channel. Thank you for watching.